Welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I have another pickups video for you here. I haven't put out a pickups video in a little while, so I do have quite a bit of stuff, but most of it actually came from yesterday. Now, I went around to a few different shops and found quite a number of different things. Previously, during the week, I did stop in the Goodwills a few times, but I really didn't have the time. I've been really busy with work and home and stuff like that, so I didn't really get a chance to get out there. But on the chances that I did, I found a couple of items. The first thing that I'm going to show you here, I actually picked up some more Lego. I'm actually going to show it to you because I've already amalgamated it kind of into the bucket that I'm basically getting for my son here. So I'll show you a clip of that right now, actually the bucket and how full that is right now. It's pretty awesome. So here you go. Alright, so here is the massive bin of Lego. It's quite deep actually. Hard to get something sort of to scale here, I guess. So you can see the size of the bin, but it's a pretty big bin, and right at this point it's about 3/4 full, I would say, maybe a little bit less than that, but pretty awesome. Like, there's tons and tons of pieces of Lego in here. So my son, I think, will really appreciate that when he gets the age to be able to use this stuff. Now, some of this is not Lego, some of it is Mega Bloks, but otherwise all Lego. This is the bin of Lego essentially. So when I get it up to about here, that's probably where I'm going to stop. But there's tons of different pieces in here of all different sets and things like that. And I basically just took the sets apart, but I did keep the instructions. So there's all the instructions and stuff are in there. If he ever wants to sort through thousands of pieces of Lego to actually build something, buy that. But I'd rather use it creatively, so I took all the stuff out. But that's the bin of Lego basically. So I'll get back to my usual video. Alright, so that's essentially the Lego collection. A lot of random pieces. There are not a whole lot of characters or anything like that. It's mostly just pieces, but that's the way it goes. Eventually I'd probably end up filling that bucket right up to the top though for him, and then that's basically where I'll stop collecting Lego. Part of that is also Mega Bloks as well. I'll get on to my regular pickups here. It was over at a Goodwill, and I was actually scoping it out for a little while because I was trying to get a Lego set that was sitting on a rack, and it was in the back room, and it was on a cart, and it was going to be coming out, and I was sort of over there eyeballing it and waiting for it to come out. So I was sitting there for quite some time, but I did take a look through the toy section, and I found a couple of figurines which are kind of cool. They're Star Wars figurines in their packaging. This is Obi-Wan there, and then you have Anakin Skywalker right there, and these are essentially from the movies. This is from the animation, this is from the movie, so kind of cool. Not really my favorite looking figurines or anything like that, but you can see the price tags on them. I paid $3 for the two of them. Thought that was a pretty killer deal, so decided to go with that. At the same time, I already picked up one game before I actually found those, and it's this one right here, True Crime New York City. It's the collector's edition. It's in the steelbook, so that's pretty awesome. It's totally complete, which is really wicked. And the discs, I'm not really sure because I have a lot of things to go through, but they're in pretty decent shape as well. And I already have this, but the thing was, I didn't even notice it until I actually brought this one home. When I looked at my steelbook that I have already, it's a little bit more beat up than this one. But the other thing with it too is that what happened with it is I didn't realize there were supposed to be two discs in here, so I never really closely inspected it that well. And turns out there's supposed to be two of them. Here, I'll actually take one out and show you what I mean. They're stacked on top of each other, so there's one there and then this one. This is the game disc, and this is a bonus DVD. And the game disc wasn't in my other steelbook, so now I actually have it complete. And the other one that I had the slip cover that goes on it, so now these two can go together and it's completely complete, which is really awesome. For that one there, I paid $5, but I really wanted to fix that error sort of in my collection, so now I'm happy that I was able to do that. On the same day, I walked into a Goodwill, and there was a number of different games there, but nothing too overly exciting. They're trying to basically unload a lot of their junk titles and things like that, so I went around and I was looking through the stacks, and I came across this game right here, which is really wicked. It's Time Splitters 2, and for that I would have paid $10 because that's what they had it priced for, but I actually got this for free because somebody stole the disc out of it, and now I have the case. So they gave me the case for free. Kind of disappointing. I do already have this in my collection, so it's not a big deal. Perhaps I'll come across a loose disc later on to be able to put in that, but this kind of made up for it. I got this game, a Dreamcast game. It's really strange, this Goodwill keeps coughing up Dreamcast games. The thing is, it's Time Stalkers on the front of it with the back, and the side art obviously is Blue Stinger, so it's kind of interesting. But I got this for free as well because somebody decided to steal it. So I don't know which game was in here, probably Blue Stinger because that was what the backing was, but I would have really enjoyed to add that game into my collection, but unfortunately thieves are running rampant lately. I've been finding so many empty cases in my hunts that it's really starting to get irritating, because either one of these games would have been an awesome addition to my collection. Instead somebody had to go and steal it. So I'd like to thank all the thieves out there for being complete and total jerks and doing that kind of stuff that makes it really difficult for collectors like myself to find good scores out there. Moving on, things got a little bit brighter though. The same day, I actually did a deal with a group that's it's not Kijiji or Craigslist. It's actually a group that my wife is in, and they do trades and stuff like that. And somebody had posted a number of different Wii titles and Wii U title. So I actually jumped on a couple of them. I didn't buy all of them because some of the titles were like fitness type things and whatnot, and just like girly games and whatnot. I don't want to add that stuff into my collection when I'm collecting for the Wii. The first one here is actually not a girly game, although it does have a girl on the front of it. She's very pretty. It's Silent Hill Memories. So there it is right there. This here is totally complete, which is really wicked. And the disc is decent. It's not great. I think it'll play. It should play. The guy said it worked fine, so I'm just gonna go off of that. But there it is right there. Picked this one up. They wanted $6 for all the like different Wii titles that were there. So this was $6, and I thought that was a pretty killer deal because I think this one goes for probably like 3 times that amount. And then the second one that I picked up is a Wii U title, which is kind of funny because I don't even own a Wii U yet, but I have 3 games for it. Is Zombie U. And this one here is also complete, which is really awesome as well. And the disc itself is actually like in brand new condition. There's just some fingerprints on it, which is the smearing and stuff that you see on there, but otherwise it's like mint. So it's basically a brand new copy. No Nintendo Club points, but no big deal. For this one here I paid $10. I thought that was a pretty awesome deal. So these 2 games here for $16, not too bad at all. Moving on, I did go into a Goodwill, and this is actually yesterday. So I went into a Goodwill because Longshot actually told me that there was a number of different games that I might be interested in. He wasn't interested in them, but he said I might be, and he was right because I picked up quite a number of them. I left a few things behind, but of course I picked out the things that I wanted to add into my collection, or I thought, you know, might be able to help me to sell with consoles and things like that. So the first thing that I picked up is Cool Borders 4 because I always pick up Cool Borders games for some reason. I know they're cheap and they don't have any value, but I really enjoyed this series. It's complete, and the disc is pretty decent. It's not too bad. Most of that's just dust that's on there, so a few minor scratches, no big deal. Really great shape though, the manual and all that kind of stuff, so couldn't leave that one behind. It was half price day, so this is $2.50. It was actually half price in the entire store for everything, so I kind of went nuts on buying the games basically. The next one that I got, another PlayStation title, is Medal of Honor Underground. Kind of cool right here. When I opened it up and I got home, I didn't actually have time to check it when I was there, which I probably should get in the habit of doing because discs are pretty trashed and things like that. It had a copy of Ratchet and Clank Going Commando right there, and I think I have that in my collection already. I'm not totally certain about that, but it also had the Medal of Honor disc right there, and it's actually in pretty decent shape, much better shape than that Ratchet and Clank game. This one here is fairly scratched up. It might be hard to see or whatever. It may need some resurfacing. I don't totally know, but I can do that because I do have a Skip Doctor, so I can do that. And then one that I know doesn't have a whole ton of value, but I was willing to go on it. Same with this one, $2.50 for Army Men Air Attack. I love Army Men games actually, and it's pretty wicked. So there's the disc right there, which is nice and awesome. And then the bottom of the disc looks like somebody took some liquid paper and put it in the groove, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that off of there. I'm sure it's not that hard to get off. And the disc is not too bad. It is a little bit strange, like where you can see the white ring there. There's like another sort of hazy like white ring right here, so I'll have to see if this actually plays. I really hope that it does, because I do love these Army Men type games, and really looking out to get this in my collection. Never really saw it for a decent price that I wanted to pay for it, so really great for $2.50 to pick up that one as well. Moving on, this Goodwill kept on giving, and I will get into the first one, which is basically essentially trade. I've already got this in my collection, but it's Jack X Combat Racing, and the only reason really why I picked it up is it is complete, and the disc for this game is not the world's greatest, but it's pretty good. So I'll probably end up bundling this with the system later. I think it'll help to sell something for $2.50. I wasn't going to leave it behind, so that's pretty good right there. Moving on, another game that I didn't have on PlayStation 2 is this Unreal Tournament. $2.50, just like the other ones. And there it is right there. It's totally complete, which is really nice. As far as the disc condition goes, it's actually an older type game, because it's on the CD-based blue discs or whatever, but it's in really excellent condition for the most part, or maybe a little bit of rings and stuff on it, but it's not too bad, and the manual looks pretty mint, so I thought I'd pick that up for $2.50. For some reason, this series doesn't seem to hold a lot of value. I thought it would, but it really doesn't, so not really about the value, though. I really wanted to get this in my collection. Looks like a lot of fun. I've never really played a whole ton of the actual Unreal games. I mean, I've played games that use the engine and stuff like that, but never the actual Unreal ones, so it should be kind of fun. I'll have to check it out. Another game, kind of interesting, is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus right there, so that's pretty wicked. It's a Greatest Hits edition, but like I say, and I always say, I don't really care about that. Here's the manual, and the disc is like kind of like the other ones, like fairly decent shape, not too bad though. Should play, so that's kind of cool. These games I know came out in the HD remake, so this will probably end up going in with a system later on, but for $2.50 I couldn't turn it down. And the thing with this is I don't have the PS3 remake type one where they're all like up-resed and it's like a compilation of the games, the Sly Cooper games. So when I actually get that, then this will end up being for trade later on. And then apparently a really hard game I've never played, because I've never had a PlayStation 2 back in the day, so when I find new titles I find it kind of interesting, is Shinobi. Look at that artwork, pretty awesome right there. Obviously I think this is a very hard game from what I've heard. It is also complete, which is really wicked. And the disc is, well, probably a little more beat up than the other ones. May need a resurfacing. I'll have to figure it out, but hopefully after that it'll play and everything, and that would be super awesome. This one here, you know, is obviously an action platformer kind of thing, from what I can tell, and can't wait to get this one in the machine and play it out. I heard that this is an extremely hard game, so should be tons of fun, basically. And then the find of the day, and unfortunately this one's not complete, which really kind of irritates me, but this here is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. Unfortunately, no manual. The disc is here, and it's in fairly decent shape. It's not too bad. It's not as bad as the Sly Cooper one, anyways. So it's in pretty good shape, and $2.50. I thought I would get this. I don't know a whole lot about it. It is a fighter, obviously, but the thing with it is I know that other people are looking for this title as well, so I thought that if, you know, people find it to be a good series, I'll probably take a look at it in the future at some point. And then I kept finding stuff, basically. So that was from the one store, and then I went to the other Goodwill, and of course it was still 50% off everything in the store again. And one thing that I found in the stacks was this right here. It copy of Namco Museum for the PlayStation 1. Unfortunately, the case is wrecked, but the manual is in great shape, and the disc is in relatively decent shape as well. It's not perfect or anything like that, but it's pretty good. I love these compilation type things that they put together on the PlayStation. They're really fun. You know, this one has Pac-Man, Galaga, Pole Position, and like a bunch of other stuff as well. Bosconia, I think, and Rally X, and there's a variety of things on here. So pretty cool right there. I believe I already have this in my collection, but if I don't, that's pretty cool. And I think this ended up costing me $1, so definitely worth it. I'm gonna pick up any PlayStation title for $1 basically. And then moving on, I found a game, but it's not this one. It's in this case, the NBA Street Volume 2 case, but it's actually 13 is the game. No manual, probably for obvious reasons. And the disc though is in really good shape. This will end up being trade later as well, but because it was half price day, this ended up costing me, I think it was around $3, so pretty good to get a GameCube game for that. There were other games there as well that I was looking through on the previous day, but they wanted $10 for some of them that were on GameCube games, and they weren't worth $10 or like $5 games. It's just you don't see the GameCube stuff out there that often, so it's kind of like debatable sort of thing. And when it came to half price, someone had already scooped them up, so that's the way it goes. The next one here is not in its original case. This is a Rogers video case, but it does come with the game and the manual, so that's pretty cool right there. The manual's in great shape. It's BioShock, and the disc is in pretty decent shape as well. It's actually quite perfect. It originally had this like soft sleeve or whatever. I just took it out and put it into the case properly, but not too bad at all really. I kind of was looking out for that title, and you know, it's not like a super pricey title or anything like that, but for $3 I thought I would pick that one up as well. On the same note, it says 606 on it, but it was half price, so it's $3. Picked up a copy of Mass Effect, which is complete, so that's pretty awesome right there. And the disc, unfortunately, is not in the world's greatest shape, but if it doesn't play, I can resurface it. If it does play, then it's fine by me. You know, I don't have to say anything about this game. People are probably well aware of this series, so you know, it's a shooter type thing and tons of fun. So pretty awesome to get that right there. And then finally, the last title that I picked up is something that, you know, doesn't totally interest me necessarily, but I'll probably end up reselling it at some point. It's definitely not in the world's greatest condition. In fact, it's probably not in really good condition at all, but it's a copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted. This is the limited edition version of it. Apparently this has like a little bit of value, so that's why I ended up picking it up essentially. You know, I will play it and check it out, but you know, it does come with like some of the codes and things like that, but no actual manual to speak of, just like the guarantees and stuff like that in there. But the disc is in there. This is actually in an original Xbox case because that's in great shape actually. This is an original Xbox case because the case that this was in was essentially crushed and pretty beat up, so I just swapped it out with one of the other cases they had there that had no game in it, somebody had stolen. But the artwork is like all ripped up and stuff like that, so that's really not in good shape as far as that goes. But along the lines, you know, I'll end up replacing that or whatever, and I wasn't going to leave it there for $3. I figured I would definitely scoop that up. Looks like a really fun one. It says better with the Kinect sensor, so I'll have to check that out. I've never really done a racing game that uses the Kinect sensor, although I do have one, so that's going to be tons of fun, and looking forward to, you know, checking this out as well. So that's everything that goes with my pickups. The only other thing that I wanted to add here is for my 300 subscriber contest. Now, when I posted my original video, I was like half falling asleep, so I missed a few things. Like there's some really whacked out editing and stuff going on there, but also I accidentally put in a completely false date. So the actual date that submissions for the 300 subscriber contest needs to be is May the 10th of this year, not April whatever it was of 2013, because it would make it very hard for you guys to travel into the past to make your videos for the upcoming contest. So at this point now, I've actually reached 300 subscribers. I'm at 301 as of this morning. So basically what I did was I took my subscriber list, I've copied it, and anyone on that list now that puts in an entry will be entered into the contest to win things. I will probably end up changing it a little bit, not the contest itself, but the prizes. In fact, I think what I'm going to do with that is I'll likely show like the winner the doubles that I have, and then I will send whatever they choose out, kind of like I did with the first contest that I did, just because I'd rather not send stuff to someone who already has those things. Like if I pick it and then it goes out there, the person might already have those things in their collection, so it's not as interesting to them, but they may actually find something that is like in my doubles that they don't have and are looking forward to getting and stuff like that. So I'd rather do it that way. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'll keep you updated about that, and really it makes no difference in the end. Like the contest is still the same. So essentially if you can get your submissions in by May the 10th, that's when I'll be doing the draw. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.